शाखान्वितांश्च श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Prabhu, can we start if you are fine?
Yes, sir, you can start.
Okay. Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to the Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya on a Saturday morning. Today we'll be just continuing with Cantor number 5, chapter 3, which is Rishabhadev's appearance in the womb of Meru Devi, and we'll be covering verse number 15, and we have the privilege of having His Grace, Premavasya Prabhu. Prabhu, over to you. Under pronounce. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiray Nascha Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padikamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parjana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So I welcome all for this wonderful class on Srimad Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So we are going to discuss today on Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 3rd chapter, text number 15. This text is not in the form of the usually that we read. It is in the form of prose. So let us read in that format. Yadu havava tava punar adharva kartariha समाहुतास्तत् अर्था धियाम मंदानाम Nastad yat deva helanam deva devarsi samena sarvan prativodum a vidusam. You can go down. And so yat yat means because. Vu hava indeed. Tava means yours. Puna again. Adharva kartar, O Lord, who perform many activities. Iha, here in this arena of sacrifice, Samahutas invited, Tatra means therefore, Arthadhyam, who aspire to fulfill material desires. Mandanam, not very intelligent. Naha of us, Tat that, Yat which, Deva Helanam, disrespect of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Deva Deva, Lords of Lords. Arhasi, please. Samena, because of your equipoised position. Sarvan, everything. Prativodum, tolerate. A Vidusham, of us who are not intelligent, ignorant. A Vidusham, of us who are all ignorant. So, translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation, O Lord, you perform many wonderful activities. Our only aim was to acquire a son by performing this great sacrifice. Therefore, our intelligence is not very sharp. We are not experienced in ascertaining life's goal. By inviting you to this negligible sacrifice for some material motive, we have certainly committed a great offense at your lotus feet. Therefore, O Lord of Lords, please excuse our offense because of your causeless mercy and equal mind. So this is a prayer by the Ritviks or the priest who were helping King Navi for to get a son. Prabhupada writes in his purport, the priests were certainly unhappy to have called the Supreme Lord from Vaikuntha for such an insignificant reason. A pure devotee never wants to see the Lord unnecessarily. The Lord is engaged in various activities, and the pure devotee does not want to see him whimsically for his own sense gratification. The pure devotee simply depends on Lord's mercy, and when Lord is pleased, he can see him face to face. The Lord is unseen, even by the demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. By calling on the Supreme Lord, the priests of Nabi Maharaj proved themselves unintelligent. Nonetheless, the Lord came out of his causeless mercy. All of them therefore wanted to be excused by the Lord. Worship of the Supreme Lord for material gain is not approved by authorities, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse number 16. Chatur vidha bhajante mam jana sukirtuna arjuna artha jigyasu artharthi jnani cha bhartasava. O best among the Bharatas, Arjuna, four kinds of pious men render devotional service unto me. They are the distressed, the desire of wealth, the inquisitives, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute. Initiation into bhakti begins when one is in distressed condition or in want of money, or when one is inquisitive to understand the absolute truth. Nonetheless, people who approach the Supreme Lord in this way are not actually devotees. They are accepted as pious, Sukirtinaha, due to their inquiry about the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not knowing the various activities and engagements of the Lord, such people unnecessarily destroy the Lord for material gain. However, the Lord is so kind that even though disturbed, he fulfills the desires of such beggars. The pure devotee is Anya Vilasita Sunya. He has no motive behind his worship. He is not conducted by the influence of Maya in the form of karma or jnana. The pure devotee is always prepared to execute the order of Lord without personal consideration. The ritvik, the priest at the sacrifice knew very well the distinction between the karma and bhakti. And because they considered themselves under the influence of karma, fruity activity, they begged the Lord's pardon. They knew that the Lord had been invited to come for some paltry reasons. So, so this sloka discusses the prayers of Ritvish to Yajnapati, Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is the Yajnapati. And they were performing this sacrifice on behalf of Maharaj Navi. If you know the family tree of Navi, so we know that from Krishna we have expansion, first Chaturvya expansion, then second Chaturvya expansion, and from that we have Garbhodakaya Vishnu, and after Garbhodakaya Vishnu we have Brahma. Lord Brahma's son Shambhu Manu, and Shambhu Manu we have Priyavrata, Utanpad, and then three daughters Ahuti, Prasuti, and Devahuti. And from Priyavrata we are reading about he had one daughter, and then there's one son, Angidhara, and from Angidhara we have his son Nabhi. So why we are discussing this family tree? Because when we read Bhagavatam, we must always be aware about the family tree. That will help always in focusing which part of Bhagavatam we are reading and how it is being done. So the idea here is that they are talking directly to Lord Vishnu, the Yajnapati. Yajnapati, he directly appeared before him. We should not think that this is like a fairy tale. Just like we talk about fairy tale to students, that a fairy will come and will fulfill your wishes. It's not like that. Lord Vishnu came. Today, maybe no one has experienced that when we do worship and a sacrifice, Lord in original form appears before us and talk to us. But in this scenario, Lord has appeared and Lord was talking to them. And from the Tatparya and purport in the translations, we have several points to discuss. Number one point is the consciousness of the Ritvis. What was the consciousness of the Ritvis? The Ritvis were like a good devotees. They were like good devotees, and they were equal to Lord Maharaj Navi, and they were very exalted devotee. How do you know this? That they were exalted devotees? We can know this from the prayers they were offering. What is the state of consciousness of a devotee? We can know from the prayers they are offering. Just like we have prayers of Kunti Maharani in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and we have prayers of Bhishma Dev. So when we hear the prayers, what kind of prayers, what kind of desires they are proposing before Lord, from there we can know what kind of devotee they are. So here what we see, that they were so powerful. Their process of sacrifice was so powerful that Lord himself appeared before them. And now they feel that we disturb Lord Vishnu because of this very small thing that we wanted. And what we wanted was a son. And they were very humbly, they were saying that we disturbed you. It's like, say, for example, a son, I mean, material son, he called his father who was busy in office. He called him to the house on mobile phone, and he came very I mean, very fast, leaving all the meetings. He thought that it must be very urgent thing for him. But when he comes home, the son says that I just wanted to sharpen my pencil, nothing more. So just to sharpen a pencil, it was not working there. He called father and he came and then so he may get angry that why did you call me just to sharpen that pencil or something very small thing. But Lord Vishnu is not like that. Lord Vishnu loves everyone, and for him everyone is important. And he came in that arena in the sacrifice, and this was the prayer that they are offering. And they say that, "Oh Lord, we disturbed you." Hmm? And the next point that is like to understand is the challenges of the Ritvis. So whenever a person is doing any kind of sacrifice for the Brahmanas, so a Brahmana may not have a desire. A Brahmana may be a pure devotee of the Lord, and he may never do a prayer to the Lord for a want of a material desire. But if he's working like a Ritvik and praying on behalf of a person, then he may have to ask for I want because this is the person on behalf of whom I'm doing this sacrifice, and we together. He would never say that he wants, oh Lord, King Nabi wants a son, we don't want a son, and we just prayed you on behalf of me. They are not saying like this. They are always saying like we. We means together with King Nabi and ourselves, we together prayed for this that we want a son. So this is the challenge with the occupation of a priest. Lord says in Bhagavad Gita that all the occupations are covered by some kind of fault in it. So that for a Brahmana, Brahma Janati iti Brahmana. So a Brahman may be knowing the Lord, he may be a pure devotee of the Lord, but if he's praying on behalf of someone, then he will have to do those kind of sacrifices and also put prayer to the Lord that we together want to fulfill our this desire, maybe to get married, or maybe to want of more money, or in this case, like Navi, he wanted a son, so they are praying to the Lord. So this is the fault in a occupation of the Brahmana. But nevertheless, Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says that one must follow his Varna and Ashram duties that is prescribed. Okay. And next point is that who is considered as an intelligence? And because here we see that they're saying that we are not intelligent. They are saying the prayers that certainly we are not very intelligent. Our intelligence is not very sharp. So therefore, the question discussed here is that who is intelligence? Why they are thinking themselves as they are not intelligent? Because they were praying for something which is material. It appears that it is a material desire, and therefore they think that we are not very intelligent. And they very humbly, they say that we are not very intelligent. And why they are not intelligent? Why they think that they are not intelligent? Because they themselves, what they are saying, that we are not able to ascertain life's goal. What should be our life's goal? They are not able to ascertain. And if we are not able to ascertain our life's goal, then our desires will like that. I mean, they are praying on behalf of Navi, but they're saying that they mean to say that together with Navi and ourselves, we together we do not know what is life's goal, and therefore we want a son. We want a son. But even if they're aspiring to get a son, the question is that why do we aspire for material benefits? Even they are saying that we are not intelligent, we do not have life's goal, but they are aspiring for the material benefits. So why do we aspire for material benefits? So we aspire for material benefits because we feel something is lacking in our life, and to fulfill that, we want to have something material. But we must understand that the nature of this material world is like each object of the material world lacks in something. So in our daily life, if I am experiencing that I lack something in my life, it is called in abhava. We feel that this is abhav in my life. I lack something. And to fulfill that abhava, I want to get something. So, for example, in my life, I feel that I have a abhava of a son. So, till son or daughter was there, I have only abhava of a son. But the moment I get the son, then other abhavas, then I need to get him married and his education, I feel everything. So, all those sequence start. Just like if you want to get a car, then all the necessary, all the requirements of the car also comes with that. So this is the nature of the material world, and this is how this world keeps us engaged. For example, there was a man who was waiting in uh, on a airport, and he was about to board the flight. But suddenly, what happened that he he was very addicted to playing games, and he opened a game in his mobile phone, and then he lost some of the games, and then he wanted to win over the game, and in that process he missed his flight. So this is our condition. The moment we aspire something to get from this world, so sometimes we will win, sometimes we will lose, and this winning and losing puts us in a cycle that we do not know what was the aim of our life. So therefore, this material desire is condemned. Material desire is condemned because this material desire is never going to be fulfilled. Sometimes we lose, sometimes we will gain, sometimes we will succeed, and this traps us in this sukha dukkha samekritva. So we are not able to maintain that consciousness. Therefore, Lord Krishna says, sukha dukkha samekritva labha labha jaya jayo. In all those dualities of this material world, we need to learn to be equipoised. So the challenge is, the question is it wrong if you desire for material benefits? So Shastra says yes, it is definitely wrong to desire for some material benefits, because this material benefits binds us to this world. The moment we desire some material benefits, this material benefits binds us to this world. So how should you do it? How should you do it? So therefore, Shastra says, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that mat chitta mat gata prana bodhyante parasparam. So ours, we should form a society, just like Prabhupada have formed a society of Krishna consciousness, international society for Krishna consciousness. So this society is meant for bodhyanta parasparam. I mean, devotees should engage in reminding each other of Lord Krishna's potencies, our relationship with Lord Krishna, bodhyanta parasparam, each other. We should remind. So our lives should go like this. Suppose we are a householder, so the husband is working and wife is at home and cooking, or maybe both are working, or maybe a wife is working, husband is at home, maybe any situation. So let us consider a scenario where wife is working at home and husband is going out for the work, and the evening husband comes back. But when he comes back, then the discussion starts like this. Today I was driving the car, and I was reminding of this sloka. It was a very nice sloka. And the wife says, yes, while cooking, I was just thinking of this sloka, and it was very nice to say. And in this process, he comes back, he changes his dress, he takes bath, and he eats the food, and the food is over, and they're about to sleep. There's no discussion of what was cooked, what was not cooked, what is lacking, what is not lacking. So all these activities are happening just like this material body is functioning. So I'm breathing, but I'm not thinking that I'm breathing. Although in pranayam padhati, it is thought that we need to focus on a breath and think about how the breathing is going on and going out. That is the pranayam process that we do. And also, just like our heart is beating, our kidney is functioning, our livers are working, our all body parts are working, our brain is working, but we're not thinking about that they're working, and we're just focusing on our work. So bodhyanta parasparam, if you keep engaged in those kind of if you keep engaging in those kind of talk, and the material activity, they are just happening. That they need to fulfill to maintain our body. Even if you are going for exercise, you are going to gym, you are going to running on the track, but bodily activity, it should be in automatic mode, and consciously you should be Krishna conscious. So our practice should be that, like that, that we know what is good for our body, because in Bhagavad Gita, Lord tells that we should be, I mean, there should be balance. There should be balance between yukta hara viharasya, yukta karma chestasu, yukta sapna avodasya. So sleeping, eating, and then recreation, everything should be balanced. But while doing those kind of things, we should be Krishna conscious. While walking, everything. So our thought is in Krishna, and we are thinking of some slokas of the Krishna. We are discussing about those. So therefore, Prabhupada has made the society that every time two devotees they see each other, uh, they may have some delay, because, say for example, some devotee is having some business work with another devotee. For example, a temple construction is going on and some activity going on. They need to purchase something, they need to buy something, they need to sell something. So those activities need to be done in automatic fashion, and consciously we should be Krishna conscious and bodhyanta parasparam. This is how we should be dealing with each other. And then what happens that this material thing that we have, that gets subsided, and the Krishna conscious life increases, and that is should be the goal of our life. But in Bhagavad Gita, Lord says that even a person has material desires, those desires can become very auspicious. How the desire can become auspicious? They can become auspicious when we connect our desires with Lord. So just for example, King Navi may have gone to other demigods. He may have gone to a gynecologist, a RV doctor at that time, and he expressed his views that I want a son, and what is the process I should do. He may have started doing this garbhadhana sanskara, all the sanskara, but instead of doing those, they approached Lord Krishna. So therefore, Prabhupada in his purport, he writes, Chaturvidha bhajante ma jana sukritan arjuna. Artho, Jigyasu, Artharthi, Jnani cha Bharata Sabha. So all those four kind of person, Lord says that Chaturvidha, they are Udara Evete. So Lord considers them as very good. Because why the Lord Krishna considers them very good? Because even they have desires. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukirtana arjuna. He considers them very sukirtana. Artho, Jigyasu, Artha, distressed person. Jigyasu means who are very inquisitive, desire. And Arthi, they want some wealth. Jnani, who are in knowledge of the Lord. So all these four kind of person, Lord says that they are very good. He appreciates them. Lord is appreciating those persons who, even if they have desires, but to fulfill their desire, they are not going elsewhere. They are not depending on their own caliber, but they are approaching Lord Krishna. So this is what is wanted. And in Bhagavatam also we read about that it doesn't matter what kind of desire we have. Akama sarva kama va moksha kama udardi. It doesn't matter that we have many kinds of desires or we are desireless in all the condition if we approach Lord Krishna. So that is what is required, that even if we have material desires, but for that material desires also, if we are dependent on Lord Krishna and we keep thinking of Lord Krishna, and we just make up our mind saying that, oh Lord, I think I'm working, but I'm dependent on Lord Krishna for all my desires to fulfill. And therefore, what we're doing, so I'm focusing on Lord Krishna's name. I'm doing more chanting. So for example, if you have desires to get something, increase chanting. So somebody may say that if you have a desire to get something, you should focus more time and leave chanting. you say stop chanting 60 now, because that will consume 2 hours of your day, and focus the 2 hours for the goal to be achieved. But a devotee, what he does, that instead of 2 hours chanting, he will chant for 6 hours, saying that I want to fulfill the desire. So this is called yajna. So increase more chanting if you want more money in your life, if you want good children, if you want to buy a house, increase chanting, chant more number of times, and then pray to Lord that this is my desire. So this is what they did, that they prayed to the Lord and then they asked the Lord, and just depend on Lord. What Lord says, Maya Sakta Manapartha Yogam Yunjan Madasrayah. So Lord says that attach your mind, Maya Asakta. In Lord Krishna, we should become attached. Maya Sakta Mana Partha. Hey Parth, attach your consciousness, yourself with me. Maya Sakta Mana Partha Yogam Yunjan Madasraya. And practice this yoga in my shelter. Yogam Yunjan Madasraya. Asam seven samagramam yatha gyasiti tasru. This is the verse from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse number 1. So, in all the places in Bhagavad Gita, Lord said we should be anasakta. We should be anasakta. But this one verse where said, Lord said asakta, maya asakta. So we should be anasakta from all the places, and we should increase our asakti in Lord Krishna. So that is how our material desires will also become auspicious, because those material desires may become the cause of our increase in devotion. It may become the cause for which we are more attached to Lord Krishna, because whom do you remember? Whom do you remember more? So if we have a material desire and we want to get that desire fulfilled, so we remember that person who is going to help us, or that person who is going to deliver. So for example, I book a parcel on Amazon, okay? And now I think that Amazon parcel is very important to me and I want to get it as soon as possible. So what I will do, I will keep thinking of that person, the person who is going to come to deliver the Amazon parcel. So if it delays by 1 hour, I'm sure that I will, for 1 hour, I will keep thinking of Amazon, 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 kab aayega, when will come, when this will come, Amazon, Amazon. And if I know the name of the person, so for example, if his name is something, and then I will keep thinking, oh, this person has not come, oh, this person has not come. Even if I will just keep looking at my mobile phone. So 1 hour, I will be completely Amazon consciousness. I will keep thinking Amazon, 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 Amazon. Because that Amazon is the person who is going to deliver that good to me. And that is very important for me. But if as a devotee, if we consider ourselves that maybe the Amazon person is going to deliver the good and I have ordered from Amazon, but if you know, what you know, that Isa vas idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyan jagat. Isa vas idam sarvam. Everything is being controlled by Lord Krishna. Isa vas idam sarvam. This is the from the Isha Upanishad. Isa vas idam sarvam. So I know that Amazon is going to deliver, but his activity, his walking, his traveling, his riding a bicycle or car, everything is being controlled by Lord Krishna. So I just keep praying, oh Lord Krishna, please send the parcel to me. Oh Lord Krishna, let the parcel come quickly. I have no time, just 1 hour, just 5 minutes. Oh Krishna, please send the parcel quickly. So although I'm waiting for Amazon to deliver my parcel, but I am praying to Lord Krishna, oh Krishna, please send the parcel. Oh Krishna, I want the parcel quickly to come to me. But and so I'm chanting Lord Krishna's name. So this becomes a yajna, just like Maharaj Nabhi performed the yajna. So those kind of yajna we can also perform for a material desire, and that desire will become auspicious. That desire will become a cause to attach ourselves to Krishna. And when the parcel is delivered to us, then we can thank Krishna. Thank you, Krishna, that my parcel is delivered on time. Maybe the system is working like that, but we know that Krishna has sent. Just like in old days, I mean, when we kids, then I was in hostel, and that time my father used to send some money. So I'm not going to call a post office, but I will telephone or write a letter to my father that I want this much money for my hostel fees or school fees, something. And then when we send them, I keep thinking that my father is sending the money, because at that time there's no WhatsApp, maybe young children, they do not know, they will never understand those situations wherein a person who leaves the house, then he writes a letter, then after 1 month they receive a letter that yes, he reached there safely. Today we are just updating on the way that I reached half the way, 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer. You can share the live location also where you have reached. But before some decades, that were not, the possibility was not there. And when the mobile phone is not there, then the person will reach there. Even if someone dies in the family, the message will come after 2 months. There was a system of telegram, but many people not giving the telegrams, they will write a letter that this person died or something like this. So we used to get, after a long time. Similarly, if I write a letter to my father, that father, I want money for my school fees, then from the date I start writing my letter, I'm thinking of my father that he's going to send me the money. And then I post the letter in the post box, and then I know that this is going to take 1 week or 10 days time to reach the post to my father. And then the father will get the letter. And after some time, he's again going to send the money by the post office or by any process. And then I'm constantly thinking of my father that maybe father send me the money very quickly. Similarly, once we are devotee of Lord, we know this system, we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, we know that Isha Vasidam Sarma, everything is being controlled by Lord Krishna, then we should become Krishna conscious altogether and keep thinking, oh Krishna, I want this to be fulfilled, and please arrange to give me. So this is what the Ritvis were praying. But here again, they are saying that though they are not intelligent, those persons are not intelligent who are bewildered. But it is not a very bad to accept before Lord Krishna. Yes, Lord Krishna, we are bewildered. It is very humble to accept that yes, we are bewildered. I do not know what is good, what is bad for me, and I have the desire. You do it what is best for me. And and there are experiences. So I had one great devotee. He was sharing his experience that he said that once he wanted to eat some sweet. Okay, so he wanted to eat jalebi. So usually people, they prefer to eat jalebi when it is slightly hot, not very cold. So they want to eat jalebi when it's hot. So he was looking at the jalebi being prepared, and he was thinking that I want to eat the jalebi. But then he was thinking that I cannot eat jalebi before I offer to the Lord. But again, what we are thinking that if I buy jalebi now and go to temple or home and then offer to the Lord and then eat it, by the time this jalebi will not be hot, it become, it will become cold now. Ah. So what happened that, but because he cannot eat without offering the Lord, so what he did that he he got the jalebi, hot jalebi, and then he went to the deity. He offered to the deity, and after offering the deity, we need to wait for some time, 1 minute, 2 minutes, or then he waited there, and then after that he got the jalebi. Now, when it is prasada, so prasada you cannot eat alone. You need to distribute the prasada. So what he did, he calls any someone who was there. He distributed them, and something was left. So that is called Yagga Sishta Asina Santo. You get something, offer to the Lord, and then distribute, and then what is left, that only you can have it. So he had it, but before he was going to have the jalebi, the desire to have the jalebi and that attraction toward the hot jalebi, that disappeared. So that is the beauty of Lord Krishna, that he arranges in such a way that the desire to enjoy the material things, that goes away. But sometimes when Lord appears before the devotees, then he does not do in that format, because just for example, in the case of Dhruva Maharaj was praying in the forest to the Lord, and when the Lord come before him, then he said that, oh Lord, I don't want anything. I was just praying for something like a glass, but I got the diamond, so I don't need those glass pieces. but nevertheless, Lord gave him. And the devotee says that why did Lord give the fulfill the material desires? Just to show to the world that it's not that Lord never fulfills the desire of a devotee. He will fulfill our desires, but he will fulfill the desires in such a way that when Lord Krishna fulfills our desires, the desire has the spiritual potency attached to it. And what happens when the spiritual potency is attached to a desire? That we get satisfied eternally. We get satisfied for all the time. And then otherwise, if we fulfill our desires materially, then what happens? That today I get a mobile phone, but the desire to having mobile phone is never vanquished. So next time I will want to have a more other mobile phone, next mobile phone, new version, new version. So the desire of enjoying the material things never vanquished. But when Lord Krishna, when you pray to Lord Krishna and Lord Krishna fulfills the desire, then he fulfills the desire, and when he fulfills the desire, our desire is fulfilled for eternally. There is nothing, never hankering. We never hanker for the same desire again and again. So this is the beauty. So therefore, we should read Bhagavatam, and in Bhagavatam we see that whenever their desire, devotee approached Lord Vishnu. So this Ritvis and Maharaj Navi, although they knew this fact, we cannot say that I am desireless, I have become Krishna conscious, I am desireless. This is not possible. So long we have this body, so long we are in this material world, there will be some desires, because the desire is produced by this body itself. And we are bound to this body, then desire will come up. Only by practice, only by listening to the great saints, by reading Bhagavatam, we can understand and we can dissociate ourselves from the desire of body and ourselves. So we know that desire is being produced by the body under the influence of material modes of nature. We cannot stop material modes of nature from working, but we can dissociate ourselves. Today, we are completely associated with our body and with the desires. So when they desire, we also think that this is our desire. But by reading Bhagavatam, by associating with devotee, what we can do the best is we can dissociate ourselves from desires. Now, when this desire is not fulfilled, then body will keep disturbing, the mind will keep disturbing. So sometimes a devotee, they say that, okay, let's fulfill desire, but they do not fulfill desire materially. Rather, they depend on Lord Krishna, they chant a lot, they pray to Lord Krishna, and if they get it done by the Lord Krishna, and then that is done in a very auspicious way. So that desire become auspicious, because suppose today I go to temple only on Sunday, and now because my exams are there, I have some material desires to fulfill, I go to temple every day. Every day I'm going to temple. And because I know that if I go to temple, my desires will fulfill. I go to temple every day. So the desires becomes the cause of me going to temple every day, having the paying obeisances to the Lord every day, chanting more, associating more devotee. Then the desire become auspicious, because that became a cause of my increasing the association, my increasing the Krishna consciousness. But then also this priest, they were in the same condition, but they were thinking that it is not good. Because what the Shastra says, tasaiva heto prayeta takovida na labhyate yad dhramata upariyada tal labhyate dukhvat anyata sukham kalena sarvatra gavir ramhasa. The process of fulfilling our desires is very subtle way to done. It is very difficult to understand where from the desire comes, how the desire is being fulfilled. It is very difficult to ascertain and very difficult to understand. Therefore, it says Gavir Ramasa. But slowly, by associating with more devotees, by reading Bhagavatam, we can know that even if our material desires are not fulfilled, it is not going to affect us. And even the material desires are fulfilled, it is not going to affect us. And therefore, some desires will be fulfilled when the time comes, and some desires may not be fulfilled even if you wait for entire life. So those kind of understanding develops in the devotee's mind slowly. And then what happens that now they don't desire anything materially. whatever comes automatically in due course of time, they accept it and they use it for the service of the Lord. And if something doesn't come, they don't worry. And they are said they are always happy in their engagement in Krishna consciousness. They are happy that they are able to chant their rounds every day. They are happy that they are able to read Bhagavatam every day. They are happy that they can discuss with the devotees. They are happy that they are able to attend Srimad Bhagavatam class every day. This makes them happy. And if something is not working in their life, they doesn't care about it because they know something don't work, something work. This is the nature of this world. And so this is how it becomes. And the next question, the next point that to discuss in this chapter is like should we desire to see Lord Vishnu or not? So this is the one question that, because here what they say that we have disturbed. They are saying this word adhavra karta. That means, oh Lord, you are very busy. Where you are busy? So Lord is busy. It doesn't mean the Lord is very busy in executing the activity of this world, but Lord is busy in his pastimes. Lord Krishna. So if I say Lord Brahma is busy, then Lord Brahma is busy in this maintenance and creation of this world, and they are busy. Lord Indra is busy. He's busy in the affairs of this world only. But when we say that Lord Vishnu is very busy, it means Lord Vishnu is very busy with Radharani. He is very busy in his pastimes. He is very busy in playing with his friends. He is very busy in interacting with the gopis. So he's very busy in that way, and he's very blissfully busy. And therefore, to call him for some material desires, to call him from that business for our sense gratification, just to fulfill those, this Ritvik said that it is not considered to be good. But the next question is that, is it enough to experience bliss in devotional service and we should never desire to see the Lord? So this is also not the case. We should always desire that someday we should see the Lord, but we should leave it to the Lord. And we desire to see the Lord. And why we desire to see the Lord? Why? So maybe somebody desire to see the Lord just to confirm that Lord exists. So that shouldn't be the case. We should be convinced that Lord exists, and just to convince that yes, or just to convince my friend that yes, see, Lord is there and you can see him. That should not be the case. Just to serve the Lord, and just to be engaged in his service, and just to see the face to face him, just so that we can serve him. That's the desire. And therefore, if you read the Narottam Thakur's book Pratna, there you see they are full of those kind of desires. And the desires are like that: I want to serve the Lord. I want to do his personal services. I want to give him the betel nut leaves. I want to do the chamar. I want to do this. I want to do this. So many desires he is thinking of. And those are the kind of pure desires. So if we want to purify our desires, we must, we should read the Pratna book by Narottam Das Thakur, and that will purify our desires. So I think that's all. So I had, these are the points to be discussed on this topic. So this is a very nice sloka from Srimad Bhagavatam, and there are a lot of points that came out from the translation and from the purport. So I would stop here, and we have some time. We can take some question and answer if it's there. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for the wonderful nectar today. Yeah, it was. You actually covered a lot of points. I'll just cover a few of them, which it really hit me in terms of that. One is, you talked about the concerns of the priests, that it is that that their particular mood as devotees come from the prayers, and we should understand that they are quite exalted because Lord appears from their from their particular sacrifices. He appears, so they are pretty exalted. You also talked about we need to learn to be more equipoised, and how desire, even if it is for a purpose, even if it is for any of this purpose, if you go to the Lord will still be happy. But it's only that we have to purify it. And so you're just explaining that particular aspect of it. And we should understand that desires which are for material benefits will bind this, and the devotee should engage in remembering Krishna, and not for bodily desires or something of that nature. And you talked about bodhayanti parasparam. You were trying to explain that particular thing, and you just mentioned about that we should be doing things to connect our desires to the Lord. That actually helps in purification. You also talked about how the Lord appreciates the 4 kinds of persons who reach out to Him. And wonderful examples you gave of the Amazon courier, how you can make it instead of Amazon conscious to Krishna conscious. You talked about Dhruv Maharaj, how he felt initially, oh, I should not ask for something which is worth, which is only worth like a stone, when I'm getting, precious gems. And you also talked about the mobile thing, where you have so many variants which keep coming. So our desires can just, we can never fulfill our desires. It'll only keep mounting. These are very, very good examples, practical, I thought. And you very nicely brought the point that, of this example of even just asking the money from the father, to the source, not the post office or somewhere else. So which comes from the thing of which basically comes from the understanding of the Ishavasyam, is that everything is coming from the Lord. So we should focus more towards praying to the Lord for anything, and that we can't actually stop the desires, but we can disassociate from them. So depend more on the Lord. That was a wonderful thing which came up. And also you said that desires, whether it's fulfilled or not, we should not be disturbed. That should be our mood. And we should also understand that the Lord is very busy in His pastime, so we should not have any desire to see Him someday. Rather, we should be more for. It is fine to a desire to see Him at some point of time. It's okay, but it's His will. It's not like we need to be saying I want to see, and it should not be the mood of trying to convince ourselves of His existence, which should not be the case. So a few points I just covered. Prabhu, thank you so much. I would just open the lines to devotees to share their comments or ask any questions. And
Thank you,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. You were telling about the prayers that Brahmana who does the yajna for us, he will be doing on our behalf. He will take sankalpa on our behalf. But you said he should say we. Why, Prabhu? He is not having that desire. What we have, he will not have that desire. Why should he pray?
Yes, Mataji. So here we say, we read this verse, so they say, Yadu hova hatava puna adarva karte iha samahutum tatra arthatiyam mandan naha. Mandan aha. Naha means of us. So they include. So this is the nature. So for example, you are fighting in a court of some disputes, any kind of disputes. So the advocate who represents the court, he always said that we want this, we want this. So together we want this. So he is in your team now. So anything good or bad, it is going to happen to the person who had the advocate, but he always says that we. He doesn't say he wants this, give it to me. He wants this, I don't want it. So it is not that, and he is not going to suffer because suppose advocate who is trying to safeguard a terrorist, and the terrorist is saved. Advocate is not going to be punished. Why did you safeguard a terrorist? Because this is his task. That is, and everyone is being given this freedom to choose an advocate to safeguard him. And the duty of the advocate is that stick to the laws, stick to the penal courts, stick to the system that is there. Do not cheat anyone. So this is what the duty of the Ritvik or the priest that he does. He always say that we want this together. We want this. We want this together because. So this is what and it is not his desire. But say, for example, sometimes advocate, if he fights the court case on behalf of a terrorist because his duty, he needs to have money, he wants to serve his family. So sometimes they also feel bad that this profession is very bad, that we sometimes had to safeguard terrorists also, and we need to fight for him. He may feel bad. Similarly, a priest also has a. So in Mahabharata, we see that a king approached to Brahmana saying that, please perform a yajna from which I want to get a son, and son will kill the Dronacharya. I want to get a such kind of son who will kill the Dronacharya. So one priest refused. He said, no, I don't want to participate in those kind of sacrifices. But his brother, he said that this is my duty as a priest to do this, and because you have come to me, I think this is because of the providence, and the supreme controller wants it to happen that way, and I will do it on behalf of you. So when he does on behalf of the king, then he will always say Drupada was the king, so he would always say, this is not a, oh Lord Vishnu, Drupada wants the son, this is not my desire. No, say, he say, we want. And Lord knows this is not the Brahmana who is praying, but he's praying. Because the moment to say that he wants this, then the intensity of the worship, the intensity of doing the things, it subsides. So always the practice is that the priest who said, we want this because everything is being done by him on behalf of this person.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Nice example.
Hare Krishna, any other comments or questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Premavasya Prabhu. It was a very, very nice class, Prabhuji. I think one point which I felt which was really important is when we are actually praying to the Lord, because we are all practicing sadhakas. It's always, at least in my case, it's a mix of desires, or my desires are not always, for pure devotional service. But the advantage of praying to Lord Krishna is that he will actually purify the desires, so that though we get that material desires fulfilled sometimes, but later, as you quoted from several Srimad Bhagavatam stories, we regret that the devotees, they regretted for such seeking such material benediction. So that was in case of Dhruva or other devotees. But how about practicing sadhakas, Prabhuji? Would we also have a similar realization, or how our material desires, when they are fulfilled, how we can further advance, Prabhuji?
As we read in this, so after reading this, or from this class, or from these prayers that we are reading every day in Srimad Bhagavatam, so we know, if we read Srimad Bhagavatam every day, that Lord Krishna is controlling everything, and we keep hearing that we should not have material desires. But nevertheless, just by saying that don't have material desires, the desires is not going to disappear. Because the fact is that material desires are inbuilt in our body. So in Bhagavata chapter 13, we see that Mahat Bhutani Ahankara. So there Ichha Dvesa, and Sukham Dukham, Sangha, Chetana Dhiti. So all those things, Lord says that these are part of our body. So this gross body and the subtle body part, Man, Buddhi, Ahankara. So this desires and the feeling of the happiness and the pleasure, these are part of this body. So they are going to remain there. So as a sadhaka, Lord says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 5, that while eating, sleeping, moving about, every time we should consciously start to practice thinking that this is not I am doing, this is the body that is doing. So asparsan, asnan, jignan, asanan, every time, going to bathroom, everything that we do in chapter 5, Bhagavad chapter 5, sloka number 7 or 8, something. So there Lord says that whatever you do with this bodily activity, just meditate that I am not this activity. So suppose I am seeing myself in this camera, and I should think that this is not the way I look. I'm wearing a spec with a tilak on my forehead, with a green shirts or something like this. But this is not the way I appear. This is the way that my body appears today. And this may appear differently after some years. This everything, the way I look, I will change after 10 years or so. And after this body, I will change differently. So I should not think that this is the way I look. I should always think that this is the way that my body looks. And when I move my hand, when I breathing out, eating something, I always consciously think that this is not that I'm eating, this is the body eating, and I'm feeding the body, and this is the requirement of my body that I'm feeding it. And then suddenly, if the desire comes, we must think that this is not my desire, this is the desire of the system of the body, and the desire is coming about because Rajoguna, in fact, Rajoguna, that creates the desires, and Tamoguna, and then so that desire, so we should learn to dissociate. And even if the desire comes, we should not be disturbed. And if the desire does not come, then also should not disturb. For example, if somebody is not married, so he should not desire to get married. I mean, and if he's not getting desire to be married, he should not worry that why there is no desire for me to get married, something like this. So desire is there or desire is not there, we should not get disturbed. We should dissociate from desires, and if the desire comes to us and it's disturbing us, then we should approach Lord, and we should depend on Lord Krishna and say that it's your wish. If it is fulfilled, if it's not fulfilled, I just depend on you. So in that process, our Krishna consciousness increases. That is what is we learn from this text. Yes, Prabhuji, that answers.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for the practical explanation.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna, I have just one question. When you talked about, it's more of a clarification, I would say. You said that when we are in, if we have a material desire also, we should chant more. So then, does it not become an offense that you're chanting with a purpose for something? I'm a little confused to that extent. Is it, I mean, I know ideally we should not, but I'm saying to start means, does it not become an offense and it'll put me back to very fruitive result orientation?
Yes, Prabhuji. So it is a fact that we should not chant, we should not pray to the Lord because some fruitive activities, but we have no other way. Our shelter is only Lord Krishna, and our shelter is only his names. Because we have some desires, we go to him. Akama, Sarva Kamova, Mokshikam Udardi. Anyway, we should depend on him because we cannot nullify our desires. So Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that that those who control their senses and they don't control their mind, they are mithyachari. So we should not become mithyachari. And although we may have many desires, so what happens, Prabhu, that if we have desires to fulfill, and we think that chanting for fulfilling desires is offensive, so we will go to somebody else to fulfill the desires. Suppose if I want to a house, so I will not pray in my prayers, daily chanting that to get a house, but I will not think about while prayers, but I will keep endeavoring to get a house or fulfill my desire by some other processes. I will go to some person, highly rich person or some good person in this material world. So because the desire is there and the desire is disturbing us, that without fulfilling will is not going to subside. We will approach someone. So even if it is offense, we approach him. And the process of chanting and approaching to the Lord, as it is said in here itself, what they say, that samena sarvana prativo vidusam. So if you read prativo vidusam, tolerate, Lord tolerates all those things, and he's sarvan, he's equipoised in all this condition. He's not disturbed, but that training has to be there slowly. I mean, one person cannot become an advanced devotee. Our devotees start from the neophyte stage, then go to Madhyama, then go to Uttamadhikari. So in neophyte stage, that condition is there that we actively want, we actively put our desires, but in the Madhyama stage, we may not actively desire from the Lord. And in the Uttama stage, we will not do it. But that a stage will go through, Prabhu, in that process only. So we should humbly accept ourselves that, yes, we are not very advanced devotee and their desire is there, and I know I have no other shelter. I have no one to ask for. Just like if a wife has a desire, there is no one other than the husband. He cannot. And so if the husband has a desire, there is no other than her wife. So there is no shelter for us a devotee. Anyhow, but the process is so beautiful that it doesn't matter that a desire, doesn't matter that we are offensive. By chanting process will burn everything, all will be burned by these different services. That is what's written in Brahma Samhita, where it says that Yastundra Gopa Matvendra Mahosa Karma. So everyone from the small insect to the Devraj Indra, everyone is, experiencing their karma. So desire that we're having is also the outcome of my previous karma. So therefore, I'm having a desire, those kind of things. But by devotional services, that will go away. Just like the wood is a cause of fire, produced from the wood, but the fire destroys the wood itself. Similarly, the desire that comes up and we try to fulfill by the devotional services, by going to Lord, but if you don't stop when our desire is fulfilled, suppose I started chanting 20 rounds because I had desire, but if my desire is fulfilled, don't come back to 16 rounds. Keep maintain at 20 rounds. Then what happens that if you maintain the services, devotional services that will increase because certain desires, then that devotional services will wipe out all our offenses, everything. Only thing is that if you commit an offense to a Vaishnava, that is not nullified by devotional services. So that is a different thing. But anything that we do with the Lord, just like Lord Brahma prays to the Lord Krishna, he says that just like a boy in the womb, he kicks the mother, but the mother never minds it. Similarly, I may make offense to you. Please don't mind it. You are like my mother. I'm in your womb. So there is no way, Prabhu. There is no way where I will go. I only know Lord Krishna. He's the controller. He's going to fulfill. He's everything. So even if I desire, I have to go to him only. Even if it's an offense also, I have to go to him only. And he will pardon me. He will do everything because he is very merciful.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Thank you for that explanation.
That was very beautiful explanation, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Ravilachana Prabhu, for that question and wonderful answer. I think we have to be conscious of our state that we are conditioned souls, and these desires are naturally arising. And if you don't fulfill with the Lord, and then if you don't go to the Lord, we'll end up going to some other person. Thank you, Prabhu.
Only thought that just came to me is when you said when you start chanting more rounds, you maintain it. It shouldn't happen that we replace desire with something else.
Exactly.
The mind first tells some other desire can be now added to it. That's my mentality. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. I think we just that is over the time. So thank you for your association also in the morning. Wonderful examples also, and it was very. What do you call? I think interactive presentation as well. Thank you so much, Prabhu. We'll just end the session today with the Vaishnava Pranam. Vanchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishvanebhyo namo anantakoti vaishnavandru ki jai granthashina.
Prabhuji, one just reminder. Grace Bhima Prabhu, the disciple of Srila Prabhupada, will be giving his association in our temple. I request all devotees to take advantage of this presence and try to come to the temple.
Try to take his personal association. Yes, Prabhu. Sure. Thanks for the timely reminder as well. So tomorrow we'll be having it from 8:30, normal one, and we'll be having the Darshanarthi starting from 7:45. Okay, Prabhu. Dandavats pranams. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you once again. Thank you, devotees, for just joining today's session. I'll just end the session now. Dandavats pranams.